one decision, one secret, and one goodbye that no one is ready for. Heartland. Season 20 is not just another season, it's the beginning of the end. And if the rumors are true, the trailer is quietly warning us about heartbreak, betrayal, and a future that will change Heartland forever. What looks calm on the surface is hiding shocks that will hit harder than ever before. Season 20 opens with a heavy feeling that can't be ignored. Heartland is standing at a crossroads, and for the first time in years, the future feels uncertain. This season isn't about daily ranch life anymore. It's about endings, choices, and consequences. The trailer makes one thing very clear. Amy Fleming's journey at Heartland is reaching its final chapter, and nothing will be the same once she turns the page. For years, Amy has been the heart of Heartland. She grew up here, healed here, lost here, and found love here. But Season 20 shifts the focus from holding on to letting go. The calm music, the slow shots, and the quiet pauses in the trailer all suggest that Amy is preparing herself for something bigger and scarier than anything she has faced before. This isn't about fixing horses anymore. This is about deciding who she wants to be when Heartland is no longer her home. The tension left behind by Season 19 hasn't faded. In fact, it has grown deeper. The fallout from Wes, the stolen cattle, and Gracie's betrayal still hangs over everyone like a dark cloud. Trust has been broken, and while some wounds look healed on the outside, the trailer hints that the emotional damage is far from over. Nathan's presence alone brings unresolved feelings, silent guilt, and difficult conversations that are yet to happen. Jack, who has always been the backbone of the ranch, feels different this season. The trailer subtly shows him stepping back, watching more, speaking less. It's as if he knows that Heartland is entering a phase where the old rules no longer apply. His silence says more than words ever could. He's not leaving, but he's letting go of control, and that alone signals massive change ahead. Lou, on the other hand, is stepping forward. The trailer quietly sets her up as the one who will carry the weight of Heartland when Amy walks away. But leadership doesn't come without sacrifice. You can see it in her expressions. The pressure, the fear of failing the family, and the struggle to balance business with emotion. Season 20 won't go easy on her. Then there's Amy and Nathan. The trailer doesn't celebrate their relationship, it questions it. Every shared look feels loaded. Every quiet moment feels like a test. Is this love strong enough to survive change, or is it just a temporary escape from pain? The trailer refuses to answer, and that uncertainty is exactly what makes it so unsettling. What truly raises the stakes is the feeling that Heartland itself is slowly becoming a memory rather than a future. The land, the house, the routines, everything feels fragile. Season 20 isn't rushing. It's building tension carefully, almost painfully, preparing the audience for a goodbye that will arrive sooner than expected. And this is only the beginning. Because as the season unfolds, secrets will surface, choices will collide, and one final decision will redefine Heartland forever. As Season 20 moves forward, the calm tone of the opening quickly gives way to quiet tension. This section of the story is not loud or explosive, but it is heavy. Every conversation feels unfinished. Every smile feels forced. The trailer hints that while the family is trying to move on from the chaos of last season, the emotional damage is still very much alive beneath the surface. Amy stands at the center of it all, but for the first time, she doesn't feel anchored. Her connection to Heartland, once unbreakable, now feels strained. The trailer shows her watching from a distance, listening more than speaking, as if she is slowly separating herself emotionally before leaving physically. This internal struggle is one of the strongest themes hinted at in Season 20. Amy isn't running away. She's preparing herself for a life that no longer revolves around the ranch that raised her. Nathan's role becomes far more complicated in this part of the season. The trailer suggests that while he is trying to prove himself worthy of Amy's trust, he is also battling his own guilt. Selling his family's ranch may have been the right thing to do, but it wasn't an easy choice. That sacrifice follows him like a shadow. There's a sense that he's constantly asking himself whether doing the right thing will ever be enough to truly belong. What makes this section emotionally intense is how Nathan and Amy's relationship is tested not by enemies, but by reality. Planning a future together forces them to confront uncomfortable questions. Where will they live? What happens to Amy's identity once she leaves Heartland? And can love survive when one person has to give up so much more than the other? The trailer carefully avoids answering these questions, but the silence between them speaks volumes. Meanwhile, Lou's storyline grows heavier. With Jack stepping back, the responsibility of Heartland's future slowly lands on her shoulders. The trailer hints at long nights, difficult decisions, and moments of doubt. Lou has always been strong, but Season 20 challenges her in a new way. This isn't about proving herself anymore. It's about protecting a legacy while knowing that part of that legacy is slipping away. Jack's presence during this part of the season feels symbolic. He watches his family navigate change, knowing that his era is ending. The trailer shows him offering fewer words but deeper looks, as if he understands what's coming before anyone else does. His quiet acceptance contrasts sharply with the emotional resistance shown by others, especially those who aren't ready to let Amy go. The ranch itself becomes a silent character in this section. The familiar routines feel slower, almost fragile. The trailer subtly suggests that Heartland is no longer the center of everyone's future, and that realization hurts more than any argument ever could. The land remains, but the people are changing. Another layer of tension comes from unresolved trust issues. Even though Gracie is gone, the damage she caused still affects relationships. The trailer hints at moments where doubt resurfaces unexpectedly, reminding everyone how easily trust can be manipulated. These moments don't explode into conflict, but they linger, creating emotional distance where closeness once lived. This section of Season 20 is all about emotional weight. There are no easy villains and no clear victories. Every character is facing loss in some form. Loss of control, loss of certainty, or loss of the future they once imagined. The trailer makes it clear that before any new beginning can happen, everyone will have to confront what they're truly afraid of losing. And as the pressure builds, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Staying might be just as painful as leaving. As Season 20 pushes deeper, the story reaches a dangerous emotional territory where hesitation is no longer an option. This section represents the point of no return. The trailer strongly suggests that the characters are done thinking and starting to act, and once those actions are taken, there will be no way to undo them. Every decision now carries permanent consequences. Amy's inner conflict finally begins to surface in ways she can no longer hide. For years, she has been the one holding everything together, the emotional anchor of Heartland. But Season 20 shows a different side of her, one that is tired of being strong for everyone else. The trailer hints at moments where Amy questions whether staying loyal to Heartland has quietly cost her parts of herself she never noticed losing. This isn't about choosing Nathan over the ranch. It's about choosing herself for the first time. What makes this shift so powerful is that Amy doesn't announce it. She doesn't argue or explain. The trailer suggests her realization comes quietly, through small moments, a pause before responding, a distant look during family conversations, a silence where she once would have spoken. These subtle changes make her eventual choice feel both heartbreaking and inevitable. Nathan, meanwhile, faces his own emotional reckoning. The trailer hints that his confidence starts to crack under the weight of responsibility. Loving Amy means accepting that her past will always be larger than him, and that truth isn't easy to live with. There's a strong sense that Nathan begins to fear being the reason Amy walks away from Heartland, even if leaving is what she wants. This fear creates tension between them, not through arguments but through emotional distance. Their relationship in this section feels quieter, but heavier. The excitement of building a future is slowly replaced by the fear of what that future will cost. The trailer suggests moments where they stand together but feel miles apart, both wondering the same thing but afraid to say it out loud. What if love isn't enough to bridge this gap? Lou's storyline takes a sharper turn here. The responsibility she has accepted starts pushing back. The trailer hints that running Heartland is no longer just overwhelming, it's isolating. Decisions that once would have been shared now fall solely on her shoulders. And with Amy emotionally pulling away, Lou begins to realize that she's losing more than just help at the ranch. She's losing the sister who understood the weight of Heartland better than anyone. This realization brings tension into their relationship. Not loud conflict, but emotional strain. The trailer suggests moments where old wounds resurface, moments where unspoken resentment flickers behind forced smiles. Lou understands Amy's need to leave, but understanding doesn't make it hurt any less. This emotional divide becomes one of the most painful undercurrents of Season 20. Jack's role in this section becomes deeply symbolic. The trailer presents him as someone who has already made peace with change. While others struggle, Jack seems to quietly accept that every generation must eventually step aside. His calm presence feels like a reminder that Heartland has survived loss before, but it also highlights how final this goodbye might truly be. What elevates this section emotionally is the growing sense of time running out. The trailer gives the impression that the season is moving faster now, as if the story itself is urging the characters forward. There's no more space for delay. Whatever Amy decides, it will happen soon. The ranch, once a place of comfort, begins to feel heavy with memory. The trailer hints that familiar spaces now trigger reflection rather than peace. Every corner holds a reminder of who Amy was and who she is becoming. This emotional weight makes staying feel unbearable, yet leaving feels like betrayal. Trust also resurfaces as a fragile issue. Even without an active villain, doubt lingers. Past betrayals have taught everyone that intentions don't always protect outcomes. The trailer suggests moments where characters question not just each other, but themselves. Have they done enough? Have they waited too long? As this section reaches its emotional peak, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Season 20, Biramfao, is no longer about Heartland surviving. It's about people choosing who they will be when Heartland is no longer the center of their world. And once those choices are made, there will be no turning back. As Season 20 moves closer to its final stretch, the trailer suggests a shift that feels both quiet and heavy. This is the part of the story where hope and fear exist side by side. No one is fighting anymore. No one is running. Instead, every character is slowly coming to terms with the cost of the future they are choosing. And that cost feels higher than anyone expected. Amy's journey in this section becomes deeply personal. The trailer hints that she begins to see her life in two timelines at once, the one shaped by Heartland and the one waiting beyond it. What makes this painful is that neither path feels wrong. Staying means safety, familiarity, and legacy. Leaving means growth, independence, and the chance to build something that belongs only to her. The tension comes from knowing she cannot have both. There's a strong emotional weight in the way Amy interacts with the ranch during this part of the season. The trailer suggests moments of reflection rather than action. She observes more than she participates. It feels as if she's saying goodbye in her own quiet way, without letting anyone notice. This silent farewell makes everything more emotional because it's not dramatic. It's real. Nathan, too, begins to feel the pressure of what lies ahead. The trailer hints that the excitement of starting fresh is slowly replaced by responsibility. Building a future isn't just about love anymore, it's about stability, trust, and whether he can truly support Amy without asking her to shrink herself. His confidence is tested not by outside threats, but by self-doubt. One of the strongest themes in this section is fear. Not the loud kind, but the quiet kind that creeps in at night. The trailer suggests moments where Nathan questions whether he can ever replace what Heartland represents in Amy's life. This fear doesn't push him away, but it does make him more careful, more restrained, as if one wrong move could change everything. Lou's storyline reaches a breaking point here. With more responsibility than ever before, she begins to understand the emotional toll of leadership. The trailer hints that managing Heartland is no longer just about keeping things running. It's about carrying the emotional weight of everyone who depends on it. This pressure isolates her, creating a sense that she's standing alone even when surrounded by family. What makes Lou's journey painful is that she doesn't resent Amy for leaving. She resents the situation. The trailer suggests moments where she struggles to express this without sounding selfish. She wants to be supportive, but support doesn't erase loss. This emotional conflict adds depth to their relationship, making their bond feel fragile yet unbreakable at the same time. Jack's presence during this section feels like a quiet anchor. The trailer shows him offering guidance without interference. He doesn't try to stop change. Instead, he prepares everyone for it. His calm acceptance contrasts with the emotional storms happening around him, making his role feel more meaningful than ever. Another important element hinted at in the trailer is the idea of legacy. What does Heartland mean if the people who built it are moving on? This question lingers without answers. The ranch stands strong, but its future feels uncertain. This uncertainty creates tension, not through conflict, but through silence. The trailer also suggests that time becomes more noticeable in this section. Days feel shorter. Decisions feel urgent. There's a growing sense that everything is leading toward one final moment where all paths converge. The calm pacing hides an emotional countdown that the audience can feel but not see. What makes this part of Season 20 especially suspenseful is the lack of reassurance. The trailer doesn't promise happy endings, it doesn't offer comfort. Instead, it shows characters standing at emotional edges, knowing that whatever comes next will change them forever. By the end of this section, one truth becomes clear. The future is no longer a dream or a plan. It is arriving, and it is asking everyone to pay its price. Season 20 reaches its emotional climax, and the trailer makes one thing absolutely clear. Nothing will remain the same after this chapter closes. This section is where every thread that has been slowly unraveling throughout the season finally comes together. The stakes are no longer just about relationships or decisions or leadership. They are about identity, legacy, and what it truly means to move forward. Amy's storyline reaches the most poignant point here. The trailer shows her moments before departure, not dramatic or rushed, but quiet, reflective, almost sacred. She walks through Heartland as if the land itself is reminding her of every triumph, every loss, and every lesson. Each step she takes is measured, weighed with memory and emotion. This is not about leaving because she wants to run. It's about leaving because she has grown into someone who must define herself outside of the ranch that shaped her. Amy's final goodbye is not shouted from rooftops. It is whispered in moments of stillness, in glances exchanged, and in the recognition that endings are sometimes the only way to allow new beginnings. Nathan's role reaches a peak of emotional intensity. The trailer hints at scenes where he is simultaneously excited and terrified. Excited because the future with Amy is finally within reach, but terrified because building that future demands sacrifice, patience, and the courage to trust that love will hold up when the familiar world is gone. Nathan has evolved throughout the season, and the trailer emphasizes that this evolution is what allows him to meet Amy as an equal, ready to build a life together outside the safe confines of Heartland. But that doesn't mean the journey is easy. Every smile is accompanied by doubt, every word by unspoken questions. Love, in Season 20, is no longer simple. It is tested by reality, circumstance, and the weight of the past. Lou's storyline achieves a bittersweet resonance in this final section. With Amy leaving, Lou is left holding the reins of Heartland, fully aware of the legacy she now carries. The trailer suggests long, solitary moments where she reflects on what Heartland has meant to her and the silent responsibility she now bears. Lou must reconcile her personal desires with the demands of the ranch, a delicate balancing act that makes her strength even more compelling. Unlike previous seasons, her story here is less about action and more about endurance. Endurance of grief, change, and the awareness that life moves on, even when you are not ready. Jack's presence continues to be understated, but crucial. The trailer gives him quiet, impactful moments where he watches over the ranch, observing how each person handles their final decisions. His wisdom, patience, and silent acceptance of change underscore the importance of experience, history, and grounding. In a season defined by endings, Jack represents continuity. He reminds everyone, and the audience, that while the characters' journeys are personal, Heartland itself remains resilient. The ranch will continue, but it will carry with it the emotional echoes of those who have passed through it. Conflict in this section is more emotional than physical. There are no dramatic showdowns, no last-minute villains. The tension comes from the human heart. The trailer highlights moments of doubt, fear, and reflection. Characters question whether they have done enough, whether love is enough, and whether the sacrifices they make will lead to fulfillment or regret. These are the kinds of questions that linger after the season ends, leaving the audience contemplating alongside the characters. Amy and Nathan's wedding, hinted at in the trailer, is not the flashy cinematic celebration viewers might expect. Instead, it is intimate, meaningful, and reflective of the journey that brought them here. Every gesture is weighted with history. Every word carries the weight of struggle and perseverance. The trailer emphasizes that this wedding is not about spectacle, but about completion. A symbolic closure of a chapter that has defined the lives of everyone in the Heartland universe. The time jump included at the season's end brings one final emotional punch. Amy and Nathan are shown welcoming their first child, signaling not just a continuation of life, but the evolution of legacy. The trailer suggests that this moment is quiet, simple, and profoundly moving. It encapsulates the entire emotional journey of the season: the pain of letting go, the hope of beginning again, and the reassurance that the bonds of family and love endure, even as the world around them changes. Season 20, as depicted in the trailer, is not a story about endings in the conventional sense. It is about transformation. Each character is forced to confront what they value, what they fear, and what they are willing to sacrifice for a future they cannot yet fully see. Amy leaves, but the impact of her presence lingers. Nathan steps forward, tested but unwavering. Lou embraces responsibility, tempered by love and memory. Jack remains the quiet pillar, bridging past and future. By the end of this section, the trailer communicates a profound truth. Heartland is more than a ranch, more than a family, more than a story. Heartland is a journey of the human heart, a testament to resilience, love, and the courage to embrace change no matter how painful. Season 20 promises closure, yes, but also the kind of bittersweet hope that lingers long after the final scenes fade. And in doing so, it sets the stage for a legacy that will live on, both within the ranch and within the hearts of the audience.